The new 2021 Ford F-150 Raptor has just debuted, and though we weren't able to see it in person, we got all the information that you'll want to hear about it. In this video, we're going to cover the highlights like the new rear coil spring and multi-link suspension, the available 37-inch tires, forged and beadlock capable wheels, and when you might be able to expect V8 power. We're also going to be making some comparisons to the Ram TRX because the super truck wars appear to just be getting started, and I feel it's my duty as an American to encourage that escalation. First though, if you like this video and want to see more like it, give this one a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel too if you want to see more. Also check out the links below and be sure to visit edmunds.com/sellmycar to get an instant cash offer on your car. Like previous generations, the 2021 Raptor gets a thorough suspension overhaul versus the standard F-150, so it can sail over ruts, bumps, and air with the durability you'd expect from a desert racing inspired truck. It also needs to be daily drivable too and be able to do the regular truck stuff like towing and hauling. The thing is, the Raptor's 6 inches wider than a regular F-150 for crying out loud, so it's going to be quite different underneath. And on top of all the big suspension upgrades, the big addition this year is the switch from a leaf spring rear suspension to a 5-link or multi-link coil spring rear suspension with a panhard rod or track bar. Ford says the goal of this change was to provide more lateral stabilization of the rear suspension and more traction under acceleration, especially during a launch. Oh, ride quality too is important. On all 4 corners are beefy and electronically controlled Fox adaptive dampers. There's more to talk about here, of course, but we'll get into further detail in the suspension, when we finally have the truck. The other headline is that while the Raptor comes standard with 35-inch tires, you can opt for 37-inch tires, and that's freaking massive. On paper, the 37s take the already strong clearance measurements, approach, breakover, and departure, which I should add are a smidge more than the Ram TRXs, and these tires add another degree or two to those clearances. Ground clearance goes up as well, and what's neat is you get a full-size spare under the bed too. With the 35s, Ford claims front suspension travel is 14 inches and rear is 15 inches, which approximately, that's about an inch more than what you get in the Ram TRX. With the 37s, those figures drop predictably to 13 inches and 14.1 inches respectively. If you stick with the 35s, you can upgrade from the standard 17-inch wheels to forged and beadlock capable wheels. The 37s come with forged and beadlock capable wheels, but with a different design. Why would you want forged and beadlock capable wheels? Well, they look cool, for one. That and forged wheels are usually lighter than cast aluminum wheels, and a beadlock is a means of mechanically attaching a tire to the rim so it stays fixed in place, doesn't slip off when you're doing cool off-road stuff. Now for the powertrain. If you were waiting and hoping for a V8, you're going to be waiting and hoping a bit longer. Yep. Like the last gen truck, the 2021 Raptor uses a twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6. Ford hasn't said yet how much power and torque it makes, but it does call this engine a high-output version of the standard 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 you'll find in the F-150. Now, the high-output version in the last gen Raptor made 450 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque, and the standard output turbo 3.5-liter V6 makes 400 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque in the current regular F-150. My take, don't be surprised if power bumps up a bit, maybe closer to 500, hopefully. Ford's also worked to make the exhaust more expressive, let's say. Not only does the exhaust have different settings that you can change as the driver, ranging from quiet to normal to sport to even Baja, the pipes themselves do a bit of twisting and turning in what Ford calls a trombone loop to ensure that both pipes are equal length, and that should even out the sound. Now, what about a V8? Well, Ford says that a Raptor R will be available next year, and my money is that that one will have a V8. As for the transmission, like the standard F-150, it's again a 10-speed automatic with the same gearing, final drive, and low range as the last gen Raptor. The 2021 Raptor also comes with a standard locking rear differential and an optional Torsen limited slip front differential, and that's something you can't get on the Ram TRX. Fuel economy, well, who cares, right? Well, anyone who actually does some long-distance adventure driving. Like power and torque, Ford hasn't provided figures, but says with the standard 36-gallon fuel tank that the Raptor can go over 500 miles based on EPA estimates. Using those estimates, the last gen Raptor could do that with its optional 36-gallon fuel tank, and that truck was weighted at 16 mpg combined. So keep your expectations around there, or maybe a bit less if you plan on keeping the throttle pinned. Now, as far as cab and bed sizes go, the 2021 Raptor is no longer available as an extended cab. It's 4-door crew, or Super Crew as Ford calls it, with a 5.5-foot bed only. Interior and bed dimensions are the same as similarly configured F-150, or the regular F-150. Also, like the 2021 F-150, the Raptor gets a lot of the same neat tech features and options available on that truck. That means everything from over-the-air updates for new features, including Raptor-specific ones, and a standard large digital instrument cluster and 12-inch center touchscreen. The graphics are of course dressed up for Raptor duties, and there are new Raptor-specific features too. You get 7 drive modes, from normal to tow to rock crawl to even Baja again, and they adjust steering, throttle sensitivity, suspension, shift points, and so on. There's also an off-road low-speed cruise control, but the most interesting one has to be the trail one-pedal drive feature. Now, the way this works is that when you're crawling at low speeds and you engage the feature, you apply pressure on the gas to move forward like normal, but relieving that pressure on the gas pedal starts applying the brakes and slowing you down, similar to the experience that you get in an EV. Now, Ford says the goal here was to reduce the need to use both feet and pedals when you're on rough terrain that demands that kind of control. As for the rest, well, the really cool Pro Power onboard tech makes an appearance in the Raptor, essentially turning your truck into a generator that can supply 2 kilowatts of power. And there's a ton of other goodies too, from a powerful exterior camera setup, wireless phone charging and Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and the standard adaptive driver's aids. The Raptor will even be available with Ford's hand-free driving system called Active Drive Assist when that tech is available at a later date. You also get paddle shifters, roof-mounted accessory, auxiliary switches, and a detail I love, whether it's on a truck or a sports car, a center marker on the steering wheel so you know when it's turned straight. Lastly, Recaro bucket seats are optional, as are rigid LED fog lamps that mount to the bumper. Now, what about hauling the toys? Max towing increases to 8,200 pounds, that's 100 pounds more than the TRX, and max payload rises to 1,400 pounds, or 90 pounds more than the TRX. That's surely intentional. So that's what we know so far about the 2021 Raptor, and we're really looking forward to getting behind the wheel. The Raptor goes on sale this summer, and while Ford hasn't talked about pricing yet, I'd guess it's going to start right around $60,000. So what's your take, Raptor or TRX? Wait until the Raptor R? Let us know in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more, and check out the links below to visit Edmunds for more information.